Atasa Kuruksahi Kutsu Pitahawairata. English name is Herb Adson, and I'm the cultural director here for the Pawnee Nation. And I've been asked to help out here with this presentation, so I'm going to do the best I can. And our Pawnees, we have our own history, oral history, and a lot of written history. But we have our own, included in that is our own creation story. And it goes back at least 2,000 or 3,000 years ago. And so with that, our creation story has our Pawnees coming from the stars or the heavens. Some tribes say they come from the water or the ocean or under a rock or a cave or a log or different things like that. But for the Pawnees, we came from the two stars, the evening star and the morning star. And that formed the first little girl that came to the Pawnees. And she came down in a tornado or a cyclone, and came to present-day Nebraska along the banks of the Loup River. And then soon after was a little boy, and he came from the sun and the moon, and he came down again the same area as a little girl, and his name was Closed Man. And then through these two first Pawnees, the first little boy and girl, come all the Pawnees, and we have 4 bands of Pawnees, and that's the Skeety, the Kitkahaki, the Chawi, and the Pitahawairata. And so through these bands, at one time in Nebraska, there were several clans from each of these bands, but most of that has been forgotten for most of our Pawnees. And so we lived in present day, which is present day in Nebraska, for thousands of years. We lived in earth lodges and permanent villages. And again, this goes back anywhere from a minimum of 2,000 or 3,000 years ago to maybe even up to 10,000 years ago. And all this is oral history, but yet some of it is been researched by different scientists through our Earth Lodge polls, our Earth Lodge findings, our pottery, and they could date us back to even close to 10,000 years. So our home was in present-day Nebraska area, but our borders were maybe halfway to the south, maybe halfway into present-day Kansas, and then to the east along the Missouri River, and all the way up into the Niobrara River, which just goes into South Dakota, the southern part of South Dakota, and then to the west was the Rocky Mountains. And all those places have a history of our people, where we live, but that was the ancient Pawnee world. And so we never had a number of how many Pawnees there were, but through the government and different non-Indians that maybe try to count us or give us a census or whatever, maybe about 1800 there was as many as maybe 40,000 Pawnees. And then when we came here in Pawnee, we left Nebraska approximately 1873, and when we got here in Pawnee, approximately 1,500 left. And by about 1900, our population was at an all-time low of about 650 Pawnees. So after our move from Nebraska to Pawnee, Oklahoma in 1874, some of the things and beliefs and practices we had in Nebraska we brought with us. And that was our form of leadership and government, and that's with our chiefs. We had 2 chiefs for each of our 4 bands. So that's 8 chiefs total, and we still have those. We still have those in our Pawnee tribe. That's a traditional Chiefs Council. We have a Pawnee Indian business council who takes care of our government to government work, but still have our traditional chiefs council. And some of the other things that we kept from Nebraska that made it down here and still survived was a few of our ceremonies, our language, a lot of our songs, our kinship terms, and our beliefs. And then some of the non-Pawnee things or European influence that we found and kept with us, and some people took advantage of it. Some of the Pawnees took advantage of it. Was a formal education, academic education, or Christianity, or things like that, with better ways to take care of their families. And so all that comes together to form a Pawnee sovereignty, which we still have. And part of that sovereignty that we have, which I believe is an inherited right that we all have, includes our own. We have our own tribal flag. So we have our own tribal flag. We have our car tags. We have our Pawnee Housing Authority. We have our own churches here. We have our own churches, including the Native American Church, and we have our casinos to help us financially.